Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiance Essential, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So I'm back. I've been on an extended vacation. I would say not necessarily a voluntary extended vacation, but an extended vacation. Pretty much last month we went to visit my husband's family on another island in Indonesia, and then when we returned, there's a lot of construction on our street and they took down the telephone lines, and so we haven't had telephone line or internet, and at first I thought, okay, great, I'll have a little bit longer of a vacation and I'll just relax. And what ended up happening was the internet and telephone line was never fixed. It's been over a month and that hasn't been dealt with. And at the same time, instead of taking a longer vacation, I just started working on other projects. And so for the past month I've been building another website, a second website, and I wrote an e-course, a free e-course for that website, and I'll be launching this new website hopefully at the end of the week or next week. So I'm really excited about it. I'll let you guys know more about it later this week. But today I want to talk about learning to find more balance, because I realized in the middle of all that was that I have a really hard time taking a vacation. Some people can go on vacation, they come back and telephone line doesn't work, and that means they can't be doing the same kind of work that they normally do, right? Like in my situation, if the internet doesn't work, I can't be uploading videos and working on my blog like I normally do. And some people would use as an opportunity to take a vacation. For me, that might mean not working, maybe going to the beach, relaxing, having fun. And then other people, it's like if they can't do one thing, then they find other things to do. And this is what I have a tendency to do, is that instead of like relaxing and going to the beach, is that I found other projects I can do that didn't involve being online. And that would take up my days, and that I can focus on and work and do all that. And that's great. Like on one end, I love to work. I get up in the morning and I'm excited about work every single day, and I'm fortunate to have that. But on the other end of things is that it can fall off balance, and it can fall off balance quite easily for me, is that I have a tendency to work long hours. I have a tendency, like when my family goes to sleep, I start working again in the middle of the night and all of that, and that's just not good. And so I realized when I sort of had this forced extended vacation was that I'm not very comfortable taking a vacation, and I tend to just find other things to work on. And so what I've been trying to do is find more balance, because I realize that this is not healthy, and this is interfering with every part of my life. It's interfering with my health, it's interfering with my family life, my social life, my relaxation, all of that. And so what I've been trying to do, and what I want to share today, is what I've been doing to find more balance. And because I know I'm not the only one that deals with this. I know a lot of people in today's day and age have a very hard time balancing their work life and their real life. And we're not born into this world to just work. We have many different elements and facets of our life that need our attention just as much, if not more. And so what I've been doing is, the first thing I did was start thinking about how did I used to have more balance, because there's definitely been times in my life where I've had things really, really balanced. And so I went back and thought about, okay, well, what did I used to do to find more balance? And there's quite a few key things that I used to do. First thing was turning off the computer at 5 o'clock and stopping working. That I would treat, because I work at home, I would treat my home work life like an office. That it's like if I worked at an office, I would stop at 5. So I have to do the same thing at home and treat that way. Same thing with if you're working at home. And for me, like I have my daughter at home with me all day and all of that, that there's a lot of times distraction, and that I can't be as efficient with my work and my time. And then it starts like leaking into like in the evening when everyone's sleeping that I'm working, and that's not good. That I need to find ways of having space and time to be more focused, that I can be more efficient with my time and really focus. And so that too, and also just what's distracting me throughout the day, that I can kind of turn off, or or stop, and little things like email. If I'm checking email all day, that's a distraction, so it's better. I used to be really good at only looking at emails first thing in the morning or at the end of the day, but really just having a block of time where that's what I would focus on. And so going back to those things and constantly thinking to myself, how can I be more efficient? How can I be more effective with my time? That I can reduce my time, but do more. That I have more free time later on, and also to seize that free time. And so that's another thing I've been trying to find a balance with, is to bring back those other things I used to do that kind of got put on the back burner. Because I'm sure you know this, that when you have a big project, there's certain things you just stop doing. And for me, I had to think back, okay, what have I not been doing in a while that I used to love to do? And the first thing that came to mind was exercise. Exercise used to be a priority. I used to organize my days around my workouts. And suddenly when I get big projects, I just stop. And so that's something that I had to bring back into my daily life, is getting back into exercise, getting back into having some time just for myself, some time to release the stress, some time to just get a break. What other ways can I get a break? And there's other things that I've been kind of bringing back. My husband and I used to, a few times a week, we'd go walk on the beach at the end of the day. And so we've been trying to do that together again as well, and get that back into our routine. Or at the end of the day, when I stop working, what did we do at night together as a family with my daughter and all of that, and what activities have we not been doing that we used to do? And so it's about kind of taking inventory as to what has stopped, and what to get back into. And then lastly, it's also about organizing time ahead of time. And I found that, when a lot of times when we get into working a lot and sort of falling off balance, is that our social life as well sort of goes on the back burner, right? And so I've learned too, is that what helps me is that when I commit to doing things, or I make a date to catch up with a friend, or to see someone, or to do something, I'm committed. The moment I say, yeah, let's go and do this, I'm committed to doing it. And so what I've been doing is ahead of time is arranging to see people and making plans and all of that, so that too, it just forces me to stop. And I find that the more that I'm out doing things, the more that it reminds me how much I enjoy doing those things and how important it is to have that balance. And so sometimes, I think in all is that sometimes we have to fall off balance in order to find an even better balance. So I'm just sharing what I've learned over this past month, of one end of being really excited about having time to do certain things I want to do, but at the other end of things is that it's important to try and keep things in moderation. And that if you have a tendency like me to kind of get really excited about things and throw yourself into it, and perhaps too much of yourself into it, is how to get back to a much better balance. So that's what I'm sharing with you guys today. I'm happy to be back, and I'm really excited about the second website that I'm going to be starting up, and I'll still continue with Radiance Central, but I've got another project going on another topic that I'm really, really excited about. And so I'll let you guys know more about that at the end of the week. And yeah, so it's great to be back, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.